There's going to be a time when there's no more World War II veterans. And who's left to tell their story? That's a big job, and we need to do it and do it right. We do what we do on this battlefield because they did what they did so long ago on those far-off Pacific islands and all those campaigns that they've had to trudge through. We were very unprepared. We were very outnumbered. Technologically, we were far behind. We didn't have the materials. We were not ready to wage war, not only in the Pacific, but in the European theater as well. If I can inspire one child that may not have known about the Pacific War, World War II in general. Maybe they weren't exposed to it enough in schools. If I can take one kid and better educate him for what was done for us so long ago, that's what we're gonna do here. And that's what I'm gonna instill in every one of our volunteers that hits the beach with me. We all share one common goal, and that's to inspire the people in the bleachers. That is one thing that I don't have to teach. It can't be taught. The passion for our greatest generation and what happened in the Pacific cannot be taught in any book. I guess it's something you're just born with, and I'm lucky enough to share it with a lot of these other guys. We're gonna come out on top. Everybody in the bleachers knows the outcome, but it took a lot to get there. So we need to do what we do now to honor them while they're still here and can enjoy the show and honor what they did so they get the recognition they deserve.
They're just going to do everything in their own time, especially when you have the big guys that weigh upwards of 100 pounds. I can't move those animals around. You just kind of have to convince them that something is their idea, and you have to have a lot of respect that they're going to sleep where they want to, they're going to eat what they want to, and they're going to go wherever they want to. 99% of them are coming from pet shops. People buy them for their child, or they buy them, when they're in college or something like that. Then their life circumstances change. Or you got this animal when you were young and strong, and now you're retired and it's getting a little harder to lift because it weighs 100 pounds. And so many come to us that somebody has quote unquote rescued from the wild. And once one of those animals comes into captivity, because of any pathogens, they can't really be reintroduced. They don't relocate very well. So leave them where they're supposed to be, enjoy them there. We all get to share this wonderful rock that we call home. So enjoy each thing in its place. But if you are needing to have a companion animal that has a shell, I really do encourage people to seek out adoption, seek out some sort of rescue organization. It's really about learning about the type of species that you're interested in getting, because each one has its own quirks and its own abilities.
Hiram was a slave that was among several slaves that were brought to Texas in 1856 by Reverend John McCamey Wilson, Jr. He discovered that there is a marketplace for stoneware because most of the residents lived in the rurals. The slaves that we know by name that were taught the craft of pottery making were Hiram, James, and Wallace, and George. I am the great-great-grandson of Hiram Wilson. As slaves, helping Reverend Wilson probably spanned 5, 6, 7 years, at least until the slaves were freed in 1865. Hiram, with the skills that he had, they started the company. Their business was the first black business in the state of Texas. Folks got to scrambling, look in the attics and basement and back of the garages and antique stores, and today they command 4- and 5-figure money. He certainly couldn't have envisioned that at the time, but he became a Baptist minister. He founded the Capote Baptist Church, and he founded the Capote School. The Wilson family, not only are we educators and persons of, with advanced degrees, a great deal of us are ministers. And I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud to tell that as a part of the story.
I can't emphasize enough the need for newspapers. My name is Dorothy Baird, and I work in the isolation unit of the Animal Defense League. The isolation unit has animals with contagious diseases or contagious problems. For instance, ringworm is very prevalent. Upper respiratory problems, sometimes fungus, sometimes very sadly we have parvo cases, and we have to be very, very careful about changing gloves and sanitizing everything we do with them.
This is what's so hard. You know how badly they need homes, and they're so cute.
And I had visions of becoming a mini vet and to take care of my own animals, and I quickly found out that that's not the case. The need here is to perform a bit of manual labor, but it's so satisfying. You handle the animals to get them out of their kennels so you can clean them. And basically, I try to do things that relieve the official techs. Things they can do, I can't do, but I can certainly clean cages, mop floors, do laundry. Any relief I can give them means they can give more to the animals.
These animals are so lovely. They love attention.
I'm not just having fun. Manual labor isn't always fun, but it does give me a sense of satisfaction to know I'm doing something that's helping these poor animals.
A lot of people come here and they enjoy dinner, cocktails, and music, and that's really the trifecta that we're going for. The quality of jazz and the quality of food match the quality of drink. We have the gin swing, we have the Rambler, and all of those were kind of inspired by old jazz charts and music. The Alderman cocktail has a cherry and it has thyme, and it has a oleosaccharin that we make, which is basically pounded orange and lemon peels, a little bit of grapefruit, sugar. We add burnt thyme into it, and then we have our large format ice, so it melts very slowly. And if you're a bourbon drinker, it's fantastic. All of that incorporates, but it's not overpowering. Naturally, bourbon goes well with, Texas-style food, and it's you have things that are fatty and rich, and a lot of times bourbon or a nice glass of wine will cut through that. Our King Cowboy, it's our country fried pork chop, made with collard greens, tomatoes, onions, very light cream sauce. It's rich, and the collard greens have that bitterness, and the tomatoes have the acidity. There's sweetness from the onions. It's a very balanced dish, but it's a country fried pork chop. And so that with bourbon, that's go hand in hand. You could just come to eat and have a great time. You could just come to the bar and have a fantastic cocktail, or you could just come listen to music. But what I think people are really starting to get from this place is the original goal that we had in mind, which is you come, you have live music, you have great food, and you have great cocktails.
My name is Joe Barajas. I'm also known as the Joe Barber. Spurs fan till I die, Holmes. And I've been cutting hair professionally over 12 years. Opening my shop, it took time, and I really, I've gone through a lot of hardship in my life, but because of that, I'm able to appreciate the victories that I have now. That's how the Spurs function. So you don't have to beat on your chest and tell everybody how good you are. It's not about one specific player, it's about everybody doing what they're supposed to do. Usually we pick a good image, and then I try to put it to the proportion where it's gonna fit on the head. And then from there, I start from the eyes and the nose, and I branch out. The most famous one I would say would be the Michael Jordan when he had the 6 rings on his hand. Different Cowboys. I've done Tony Romo. I've done Zeke Elliott, Des Bryant. Definitely more Spurs than anything. I think I've been all over the country, and people hear the passion that we have for our team. It's like there's no fans as passionate for their team as we are. They're the epitome of what we should be as people, like just have class, just have dignity, respect each other, and win as a family. With the Spurs being as successful as they have for the last 20 years, I've been able to pretty much ride their coattail. I mean, I'll say it because that's what it is. I've been able to do over 1,000 haircuts of the Spurs in my lifetime. So it's been a beautiful journey for me, and I have the Spurs to thank for it.